Hello everyone, my name is Delilah Fernandez and I wanted to share with you all my research proposal. So my project title is Teaching Reading Strategies, Annotate, Summarizing, and Analyzing in order to help my students become college ready. My research question is, will meeting with a small group of 10th to 11th grade students for 2 hours a week, strictly focusing on annotating, summarizing, and analyzing various professional literature, help them gain the necessary skills in reading to become college ready within the time we are given? So the purpose of my study is, due to my students' lack of college readiness, I would like to help my students develop better reading skills by helping them to successfully pass the reading section of the TSI, which is the Texas Success Initiative College Entrance Exam. To the right, I put a little chart or a little graph, a picto chart, I believe it is, of basically the breakdown of what the TSI is. For those of you who did not graduate high school in Texas or did not go to college in Texas, and I will be going over a little bit more of the TSI in a second. So the literature review that I used for my research proposal was an article from the an article titled Developmental Education Challenges and Strategies for Reform from the U.S. Department of Education. From high school to college, teachers and students assess the impact of expository reading and writing course on college readiness from a Journal of Education Research and Practice. And I also found this one article titled Advancing Student Literacy and Reading Comprehension from a professor out in San Francisco State University. So I wanted to go over a little bit the literature review with you all. This is a chart taken from the U.S. Department of Education, the first article. And this chart basically states the following, that the U.S. Department of Education reported that in the 2011-2012 academic school year, a third of all first-year graduates at a university and 40% of students at a community college were enrolled in at least one developmental or reading remedial education class. For that reason, these students were not considered college ready, and this is quite disturbing, to say the least. Although more states are attempting to create and adopt a core set of college readiness standards in math, English, and reading, Texas and Alaska still have their own set of college readiness standards. Also, each state has their own expectations for readiness that is conveyed through course requirements, skill, state standards, and a variety of diagnostics assessments. A student in the state of Texas is considered college ready when he or she has successfully passed all the parts of the TSI. So I wanted to go back to this chart. Over here. So a student can be exempt from the TSI and still be considered college ready when he or she has received a certain score on the SAT, ACT, STAR, and TAKS test. But for the most part, at my high school where I'm at, pretty much every one of my students, about, I would say 95% of them, do not get the score needed to be exempt from the TSI. So therefore, they are required to take the TSI. And then what's even more disturbing is that only 37% of students who complete their developmental courses go on to enroll in their gateway courses. So this is why I have a strong desire, and I really am excited to start this study, because as the literature that I've chosen for this study it indicates that students who are enrolled in these developmental classes, 37% of them, it says only 37% of students who complete their developmental courses go on to continue college. So that's why I said it is extremely vital that every high school teacher continues to teach students effective strategies in reading so that all students are college ready. So my research methods is I will implement high interest, low reading level books and articles in order to demonstrate to students how to check for their understanding of what they read, as well as to illustrate how to effectively use strategies such as annotating, summarizing, and analyzing. I will spend about a week on each of these following sections. Each section is how the TSI reading is broken up, or what they test over. So as you can see, there's 8 sections, and I will spend about a week on each of the following. The students will be given a test at the completion of each section in order to determine if the student understands the material. And of course, if they are not successful on that quiz, then we will go back and reteach. I will be able to measure my students' college readiness by their score on the TSI test given at the end of the study. So these students that I have chosen for this study have already taken the TSI and was not successful on either the reading, or most of them were not successful on all parts of the TSI. So that concludes my presentation, and I'm looking forward to hearing each and every one of you all's research proposal. Thank you.